Good morning. How's it going? So this is going to be my second ever YouTube video I've recorded, and it's going to be about anxiety. I'm going straight into it. I'm not a professional at this. Like I said, it's my second ever video. I recorded one last night. It is now 10 o'clock in the morning the next day. I do plan on uploading that video that I recorded. I was going to last night, but I guess I have to verify my ID to upload YouTube videos now. Didn't know that was a thing, but yeah, that's the thing I have to do. So I'm waiting to get that uploaded. And that video was pretty much just me ranting about my thoughts for 20 minutes straight. It was kind of prioritizing more about happiness and about self-worth. And this video is kind of gonna deal with that as well. But like I said, this video is gonna deal with anxiety. If you look at the title of this video, which should be "Anxiety is All in Your Head." Today we're gonna talk about anxiety. So, first off, I'm gonna tell you right now, I deal with a lot of anxiety, especially in prior years of my life. I've dealt with a lot of anxiety. I'm very young still. I'm only 21. But in my teenage years, I had a lot of anxiety, man. I did not have a lot of self-worth. I did not have a lot of self-love. I found myself being attached to things and to people. And that's something that has been a problem even in my adult life already. Speaking of now, anxiety is still very much a thing in my life. Attachment is still something that I deal with. Being attached to things, being attached to an in particular person, and in particularly, there's in particularly a certain person right now in my life that I would still say I'm attached to. It's not as bad as it was maybe a few months ago, but I'm still attached to her. But anxiety, let's get back on track a little bit. I'm really bad at this. I'm trying my best. I'm just gonna have to put in my hours, put in the work and experience of doing this. I'm probably just gonna sit in my car like I am right now when I do this. Maybe eventually in my room, or just somewhere outside where it's all nice and peaceful, which I could definitely do that. But it's hot as balls right now. I think it's like 90. Well, it says 86 in my car, but that does not seem right. I feel like it's at least 90. But either way, it's hot for me. I live in the Midwest, so 90 degrees is pretty hot for us out here or wherever. All right. So you're anxious, right? You're anxious. You feel very anxious when you walk into a room with people that maybe you know them or maybe you don't. Maybe you feel very anxious. Everyone's different. Maybe you feel anxious, going to school, having to sit in a certain room or sit next to a certain person at school. Maybe you feel anxious going into a new place, going to maybe like the doctor's office or who knows, right? Everyone has anxiety, man. It's kind of a part of the human experience. There are probably people in this world that kind of just walk into everything with a smile on their face and not really having any type of fear. But I think most people in this world have some type of form of anxiety. I also got some notes now, kind of writing down some notes. I'm going to start doing that as well. So one of the first notes I have, though, is that no one cares, which this is very important. No one gives a shit. No one cares what you're wearing. No one cares what you're doing, right? In most case scenarios, nobody cares. And even if they do care, it's only going to be for 10 seconds, maybe up to a minute. But you got to think about this, right? Everyone has their lives. Everyone has their things that they're trying to accomplish. Everyone has their things that they're dealing with. And most of the time, people just don't really care about, what you're doing. Like right now, let's say someone driving by, seeing me just talking pretty much to myself, right? They might sit there and make a comment in their head real quick, but then they're just going to go on with their lives. They're not going to make this a priority in their head of what some random person's doing. And you got to think about that in life. It's like most people, they don't care, right? And you're getting very anxious thinking about what other people are thinking about you. And 9 times out of 10, they're not thinking about you. They're probably thinking the same shit you're fucking thinking. They're thinking about, what is this guy thinking about me? That's very possible. And even when they are thinking about you, I'm telling you, man, it's not going to be like a very long, thought out thought that they're having about you. It's just going to be like a quick thing that they have, a quick thing in their head, and they're just going to move on to the next thing. So in my opinion, like, it's really not important to prioritize other people of what you think they're thinking. Because first off, you don't know what other people are thinking. You will probably never know what other people are thinking. You can make up your assumptions in your head of what other people might be thinking about you, or just what they're thinking in general, but it's like, you don't know. You don't fucking know. You are not them, and they are not you. It's your job to worry about your own thoughts, to worry about your own things. Let other people live their lives, and not think, not care, not even care. Like, I'm telling you right now, people don't care. You shouldn't care either. You shouldn't care what other people think. You should be thinking about yourself and caring about yourself. If there's something that you really love doing, but you think that, oh, if I do this, this person's going to judge me, do it. Just do it. It doesn't matter. My second thing is that nothing matters. Which, what I mean by that is that this life, this human experience that we're living right now, we're all going to die one day. We will all be in the ground or cremated or whatever, however your body ends up going. You're gonna die one day. I'm gonna die one day. We're all gonna be forgotten in the history of history. Like most people in this world. There's been billions of people that have existed before us, and there's billions of people that live in this world now. There's billions of people that will come after us, and most people, they come into this world, they do their thing, and they leave, and they die, and it's not really remembered, and that's okay. That's okay, And I know that kind of sounds like a depressing thought, which it kind of is in some ways, but it's the truth. We live this. We don't really know why we're here. I don't know why I was put on this planet. I just know that my parents decided to have a child, and here I am. That's all I know. I don't know what my purpose really is on this planet. I hope that one day I find it, but I'm young and I need to live more in order to do that, in order to find that. But the truth is, like I said, I don't really think things really matter. For you to stress about something that probably you're not going to remember in maybe 5 years, maybe even like the next day you might forget it. It's like, why are you stressing about it then? Why is this something that you're putting so much effort and so much anxiety into, or so much thought into, where it's like, it's not something that you really need to be prioritizing. And to me, if you look at life, this is what I try to do personally. Like I said, I still deal with anxiety. I do think that when I was younger, I dealt with a lot more than I do now, but I still do. Even when I was about to record this video, I was anxious. I was like, man, do I really am I ready? Am I ready to do this? You know what I mean? Like, having thoughts like that. It's very common to be anxious. Like, I wouldn't say that you should be beating yourself up on it. It's a very normal human thing, but you want to try to suppress it as much as possible. You don't want to just accept that you're anxious and accept that, you have all these negative thoughts about yourself and about life. It's like, you don't want that, man. And nothing, in my opinion, is worth the time that you're spending thinking about it. In most case scenarios, it's not worth it, man. Just let it happen. Go walk forward, let it just happen, and eventually you're probably going to forget about it. And if it's a situation with anxiety where you're caring too much about what other people are thinking, right? Which was something that I've dealt with for a long time. I still do. I'm not gonna say that I don't. I still do for 100%. Not as bad as I used to when I was younger, like when I was a teenager. But even the prior last 2 years of my life, I think I have, but also I have smoked weed the last 2 years of my life. I think that kind of deals with my anxiety as well, but that's more of a personal case. But when I was younger, I had a lot of anxiety, and I cared so much what other people were thinking about me, and I didn't put my own opinion of myself first. I was putting other people's opinions of myself, other people's perceptions of myself before mine. And I'll tell you right now, if you allow other people's perceptions of you matter that much in your life, matter more than your own self-worth, your own self-love of yourself, then those people will control you. They might not even know they're controlling you, but you're giving them that power to do so. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let people live their lives. Don't worry about what they think about you. Live your life the way you want to live your life. Don't prioritize other people's opinions of you, because first off, they don't even know the entire story of your life. They might just have a quick thought about you. You do the same thing with other people, and that's fine. But you shouldn't care what they think about you, and they shouldn't care what you think about them. If it's something where, like, oh, you're wearing like a shirt or a certain dress or certain pants, whatever the case might be, and you're feeling like, oh, I feel like I don't look good in this, just wear it. Just wear it. If you like it, if you bought it because you thought it would look good on you and you like it, wear it. Doesn't matter what other people think about it. It really doesn't. Your decisions that you make in your life are your decisions to make. It's not other people's decisions to be you. It's you. You are you. It means that whatever you do is up to you. You decide who you want to be, and don't let other people decide that for you. Because if you don't decide, people will decide that for you. And I've been there. I've been in that type of situation where I just made a lot of bad decisions, and I wasn't really putting my own worth and my own love for myself first. And I was like that for a very long time in my life. And even today, I would say I'm still there in some ways. Like I said, I still deal with attachment issues. I still deal with anxiety. Not as much, like I said, not as much as I used to, but it's still something I want to improve on, right? I still want to be more self-driven, more full of self-love, stuff like that. If you were, let's say this, right? Let's say that you've really been anxious in your life, and maybe that's because you've just been in the same spot too much. Maybe you're hanging around the same people that cause you to be anxious, cause you to look down on yourself. Maybe it's a job. If it's school, it's a little bit more hard. That's kind of, you kind of just stuck. You kind of have to just go to school and get it over with. But you can hang around different people in school if it were to be the people that you hang around. Maybe you need this one's a little bit more drastic. Obviously, not everyone has the money to do this, but maybe you need to move to a new city, to a new state, to a new country. Maybe maybe that's what's necessary. You only live once, and you shouldn't live your life being anxious. You shouldn't live your life being unhappy with yourself. Like, that's not how you want to live life, and that's how I was living life, and I still live my life like that in a lot of ways, and I hate it. I hate it, man. And I'm trying my best every day to become a better version of myself. It's not going to happen in one day. Obviously, you're not going to just wake up one day and just, oh, all my anxiety's gone. Oh, now I'm free of all my anxiety. No, that's not going to happen. It's a day-by-day process. Stay hydrated. Drink a fuck ton of water. That was a side note, but anyway. So, the last thing I just want to say is self-love and self-worth is very much a necessity in life. And you got to prioritize that shit. And it's hard. It's really hard. But, that's what you got to prioritize. I think over almost everything. You got to love yourself. And And you got to find whatever way. You got to do things that you enjoy, do things that make you happy, do things that make you feel fulfilled. You know, sports, you know, different activities. Different people can also. I'll say this. I don't prioritize other people. Like this whole kind of thing is just like prioritizing yourself, enjoying yourself, loving yourself. That's kind of how I feel like one of the best ways to deal with anxiety is most of the time when we're anxious is because we're just dealing with stuff in our head about ourselves and letting other people's. So my phone overheated. Yeah, it's 86 degrees outside. I don't know how my phone just overheated. It is hot, but it's not that hot. That's crazy. Well, I'm just gonna wrap this video up then. Thank you for watching. Like I said, I'm very new to this. This is my second video ever. I will become more of an expert as time goes on, and more high quality videos, I'd say, as time goes on. This is something I want to keep doing. Hopefully I can keep the drive going of wanting to do this, but you know, I'm doing this not just for myself, but also want to help other people out and just kind of get my own thoughts out there about life. Because I find myself just kind of venting to myself about things. I'm like, you know, why not just turn the camera on and just record? Why not just, you know, say it and just record it to somebody, and maybe that'll make their day. You know, maybe they'll learn something or feel like they're not alone. You know what I mean? That's kind of the entire point of doing stuff like this. So yeah, thank you for watching. I don't know how I'm gonna blend these two videos together because I really don't know, but I'm sure I'll find a way. So yeah, thank you for watching.